Scoot Henderson just finished having one of the most disappointing rookie seasons ever, where he even broke the record for worst plus minus in a game at a staggering minus 58. But I'm going to break down why you should still bet on the young point guard becoming a star in Portland. Before we start, consider subscribing to the channel where we break down the NBA and your favorite players using cutting-edge analytics. There was a lot of hype building up around Scoot Henderson before last year's draft. He's one of the most physically impressive rookies in a while, oozing talent as a scorer. Steph Curry was even taking Scoot under his wing to help him improve his skills. He was so well regarded that teams considered him the consensus number 2, even though the Hornets, who owned the pick, already had a star point guard. Theoretically, drafting Scoot would give you a star-level lead playmaker with unmatched athleticism who creates easy scoring opportunities for his team by putting pressure on the rim or spacing the floor beyond the arc. But when he actually started playing real NBA games, he left a lot to be desired. In his first season, he gave the Blazers 14 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. On the surface, those are good numbers for a first-year guard, but they also were paired with 38% shooting from the field and 3.4 turnovers per game. He had a nightly negative 8 box score too. His scoring was hurting his team, actively costing the Blazers 2.6 points per game with his poor shooting versus if you had a league average shooter take his shot attempts instead. Playmaking was nowhere respectable either because teammates shot 47% on his passes, which was 9% lower than the team average. On defense, he was often also negative, just looking lost. This poor output resulted in a lot of fans around the league already giving up so early on the promising young talent. But Henderson is far from the first rookie to struggle. In fact, it's common knowledge that point guard is the most difficult transition into the NBA. Looking back at just a few now star point guards gives us a nice comparison for the difficulty. We'll use PER, a common way to rate a player's efficiency level. 15 is an average NBA player, and Scoot was just 9.5 this year, pretty bad. But De'Aaron Fox was 11.2 year 1 and then 20.6 year 3. Luka was 19.6 and then 27 year 2. Colin Sexton was 12 and then 18 year 3. And my favorite right now for this is Darius Garland. He was only 8.5 year 1 and then had a 19 PER in year 3. Those are just a few guys, but you get the point. Whether they played good as a rookie or not, players, especially point guards, have an enormous jump in year 2 and 3 as they get used to the game. The fun part is that Scoot clearly still has tons of visible talent to be unearthed. He just needs some polish around his game. Defensively, he needs to be way more disciplined. I watched too many possessions from him where he left his guy, didn't make the correct rotation, or was caught ball watching. That's normal for a rookie, but those habits have to be cut now. Scoot has the body to be a good to great perimeter defender. He's strong, fast, and has a nice wingspan. If he becomes elite, then that's a plus, but the basics is what he needs to focus on right now. Then on offense, he just needs to practice the right things too. First, let's look at his finishing. Being uber athletic allows him to use blow-by speed and quick jumps to get to the rim, but finishing there is the issue right now, as evidenced by a poor 47% shooting in the restricted area. He has a habit that is incredibly irritating to watch. He doesn't use his left hand anywhere near enough around the rim. Whether it be a layup on the left or right side of the basket, he seems hell-bent on using his right hand either way, when a left-hand bucket would be easier and protected from the defender. Stuff like that should be fixable in the short term. Some work on this area of the game will immediately elevate his presence on the court. Then there's the jumper. He only connected on 35% of his jump shots overall and 32% on those from 3. But that should improve too soon because he has good mechanics and shot 81% from the line, both suggesting he will become a good shooter. Even though he has demonstrated aggressive scoring and an ability to easily get to the spot he wants, things can be a little too sped up for him, but post All-Star, we already saw the shooting and decision making get better. He upped his field goal percentage to 40 and his 3-point to 35%. With a summer of work to practice slowing down the game, we'll probably see Scoot hitting at least league average efficiency next year. Then finally, as the future point guard, he needs to get the passing better. Good at making all the basic reads, which is all you can ask right now, but with some borderline star bigs by his side in Ayton and Grant, he should get comfortable throwing more difficult passes in a variety of situations in common plays like pick and rolls, teammates coming off of screens, or cutting to the basket. I'm not worried that Scoot Henderson won't become a star. With the right development plan and mentality, he should get there. To me right now, it just seems like he's been working a ton on his individual skill set and hasn't had enough reps in real live game situation. But that's my take. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe.